And good morning. Welcome back, everyone. We are doing a new video today on Litecoin. LTC is the ticker. We have previous videos on this. All my charts got deleted. I have to redo the chart. So that's a good opportunity for us, as well as the previous video. If we are hitting the same levels, obviously, TA works. And if something new is happening here, it's probably because we see something new, because I have not done a video on this for a long time. So let's get it started here on the weekly time frame. Here's the low, here's the high. We have done this very sharp, I want to call this batwing fractal, descending channel, triangle, whatever you want to call it, squeezed into this little consolidation, and then we got a little bit of breakout. We actually rejected, and now we found this low. Well, first this was the low, this is a new higher low, this is a new higher low, and equal highs. That's why this one actually swept the liquidity below here, because there's liquidity here and there's liquidity here. We went and took the liquidity to the downside, and then we went and took the liquidity to the upside because we did not make a deeper low from previous. So this is kind of very similar. This consolidation is kind of very similar to what Bitcoin is doing, what Solana just did. We were looking for lower. What it did was it did a wick off of the lows and just completely, like a wick like this, and then completely retraced the drop and basically took out a lot of short liquidity. People probably panic buying on top, and then the next day when you see some retracement, they're taking liquidity on both sides, and usually price is just going sideways. So keep that in mind, that right now on a weekly, we are looking for upside continuation. Our previous resistance was over here at 106. As long as you're above 106, we're looking for upside continuation until the next level of resistance. The previous level of resistance was over here at around 150, so keep that in mind moving forward, okay? Now what I'm going to do is actually show you guys the fibs that I put on, and then we can discuss where we expect this to go from there. So here are these fibs, and I've done them very shallow, just because I understand people are probably going to be talking about Litecoin around $300 or more. But before we get to that point, we need to understand, like, how are we getting there? And this is basically what I wanted to show you guys. Like, hey, this rounding bottoms, you can see the inverse head and shoulder here. If you're looking carefully, you can see the inverse head and shoulder never broke the neckline, and then you basically just had that continuation up. You can see the same situation here, okay? And then you made this neckline, and then you broke up, okay? You're doing the same thing over here again. Another neckline. And this one was even more professionally done. It was very clean. And you have this breakout. Now what you're looking to do is this level of resistance, all that liquidity is gone off of that, right? So the risk to the downside, and your averages are helping you, okay? Your EMAs are telling you that as long as we're above 95, we're looking good to take above 102, and we're already above 102. Level of resistance is here at 120, and we're actually finding a little bit of resistance right here at 120. And once we claim 120, this is the previous high that we have to fight through, all this level here. The main thing is the liquidity is sitting at 148. So from 120, once we have open and closes on a weekly time frame above 120, 122, we should be looking pretty calmly for the level of 148. Worst case scenario, if we go to 120 and we find resistance in this order block between 120 and 140, it will fall back and find some resistance from some support at 100-ish dollars to $95, and then that will basically make a nice little rounding bottom, just like this stuff over here. You make a nice little rounding bottom here, and then you could have that breakout after the neckline can't be broken. Okay, so this is basically, if you look at it like this, it's a massive consolidation, and it's trying to do something like this, like an expanding wedge. and inside the wedge, it will just consolidate until you guys get so annoyed and frustrated and stop trading it, the move won't come. So this is basically how I'm seeing it. I'm gonna actually delete all this doodles so you can see a little bit more clearer the consolidation and where we expect and how we can know all that kind of good stuff. I'm going to show you a trick for a measured move on an expanding wedge. Okay, so this is the expanding wedge. What I usually do to make it easy, because there's very technical ways to take a measured move. What I'll do is I'll just encompass an order block. So this is the low. Where is the most consolidation happening? I mean, do you want to go like this? We technically can't do this. All right, let's do that. Um, let's do that. Let's make this a little thicker. This is the warning line for the upside. This is the warning line for the downside. We'll call them Tory trend lines. Tory's trend lines. If you guys know Tory trades from YouTube. So those are where you can buy and hope the 3 points come, because this is only 2 points. We didn't get that third tap, and you have 1, 2, and potentially you're gonna get a third tap here. So which way do we go? We don't know. It's kind of like in the middle kind of situation. Here is your way that I would go about it, and you guys can use the EMAs and stuff as confluence, but this is the middle of the range. So I would take one of these little measured move, little doodles, and you should just see where does this measured move go to, right to 148. Okay, so more than likely you're already um, showing people that this is possible. What you need to understand is market maker is a patient man. He has no reason to rush. His whole point is to frustrate you out of your trade. Okay, once you're out of the trade, then he can go. You to him is our liquidity. This is probably how he's going to consolidate, and you're going to see the lows come higher and higher. If he does something like this, he's going to sit in the channel, and it'll just be a wick. It'll be a quick move to this 95 and a quick move right back out. As you see us consolidate in these sideways range, you will see after 122 a much quicker move to the 150s. And this is kind of what Solana is already doing. And yesterday, I actually sent a chart to the members when this was at 105. So I was like, hey, I'm going to make a video on LTC tomorrow. This is a good buying opportunity. It's at 105, and we should be looking for around 117 as target. Literally was hitting that like within 15 minutes of me posting it. So unfortunately, I was hoping to have this video come out before the pump so it looks cooler, like how I did with Walgreens, RGTI, and all the others. But it is what it is. I think the whole market in a whole is basically looking for upside, and that's why you're getting a little bit of love in the alts while Bitcoin and ETH go sideways and consolidate. Once the alts start going sideways and consolidating, I'm expecting Bitcoin and ETH to get its next leg up. And maybe alts trickle down a little bit is because of rotation of the liquidity or people taking profits out of their altcoin into the god coins like Bitcoin. So that is how I am approaching this. Now, if you go to lower time frames, you can see today's daily candle is already trying to do like doji nonsense at the resistance at 122. If this today you get an opportunity, like look, I already did the doodle. If you get an opportunity of this coming down to around 105, 105 to 107 is where I said the long is nice. The long is good between 104 to 107. Risk manage underneath 95, and you're looking for it to get into 150 and whatnot. Your first resistance is 122, which we did not really tap. The liquidity is sitting at 122.14. This is not considered you tapping that level. I need you to actually touch it and make one tick above it. All the liquidity then once removed, if you want to reverse back, to this level, okay, cool. Now, anyone who's looking for this happening, gotta understand this right here is support. This level right here is support. They are basically trapping anyone who shorted right here. Okay? And if they're gonna trap these guys, they should not let these shorts out over here. They should go up first, take out that liquidity, get people to long, and then flush it down. Okay? So I don't know how this consolidation is gonna play out. Okay, I don't watch Litecoin like as how I do Bitcoin, E, and recently Solana. But that is something to consider. Okay, if it's not coming down, you will see a fast move up to take the liquidity around 130, and then if it wants to roll over, it'll roll over. So I'll just color that white, as in like that's a possibility. This is a possibility, and just going sideways in this range is most likely. Like it is very very likely, and very very logical for you to take liquidity and just bounce around in the range. So once you go to 130, you can come to like 115, and as long as we're bullish, we should not go lower. But if we mess around or the markets are just going sideways, some big dog could come up and just sell, and then some bigger dog could come up and buy up. That's basically what happened earlier this week. Monday was a panic sell situation, but really it was a flush of people getting kicked out of the market, and all of it was bought up, and we are above those levels already from where we even dropped. So if that doesn't entice people to FOMO at the top when they wake up today and they see all the stuff at the most recent highs, I don't know what will. I mean, the market is really, really, really ruthless on how it's creating this liquidity, and the majority of it is just psychological games forcing you to basically make an impulsive decision as opposed to you being patient and waiting for the proper level. Uh, if you can sit on your hands and take fewer trades, you'll probably be more profitable than taking more trades and taking every opportunity. I myself yesterday, here I'll give you guys a lesson. So yesterday I was short in Solana. I knew that 222 was a level of resistance. Man, I'll just show it to you guys. I kind of did this yesterday too. So just to follow up, I knew this level was going to be a level of resistance, which is around 202.50. I had the short from, I think it was like 188, okay? 188, 190. Yesterday, I stopped myself out around 193, which was in the channel right here. So I stopped myself out right over here, 193, and I was like, hey, if it goes over here today, I'm going to be very, very mad because I didn't understand why it did what it did, but it comes into like hindsight is 2020. You know, like I can understand now why we went this way first. Everyone was panic selling the bottom, and I knew that hey, if we took this this line is basically this right here. Once we took this liquidity and this wick occurred, we didn't get to the bottom of the expanding wedge. It was a higher low, and the whole downside got negated, and we actually took the liquidity. Now you made this head and shoulder, right? Now you got the head and shoulder nicely printed. And now if we do find rejection over here around 215, I will understand why we did this, because all this week what we did was consolidate last week. So last week's low was like over here. Yo, yeah, right here. And once we took the liquidity out of the low, last week's high is over here, I believe. 222. 215 is the open, I believe. And this level here was the POC on the weekly. That's why I was like, hey, if we claim this level, more than likely it's going to go to take the liquidity off the top and then try to roll over. So this doodle that we have here, need to actually bring this sucker up to something like this. And we were looking for the swing failure pattern here. It actually occurred. Now what we're looking for is this level up here. Is this liquidity going to be taken and then rock to the downside, or are we going to continue upside? We will find out later this week on Sunday, actually. Friday, I care about Friday's close, but really it's Sunday's close that matters. But Friday's close is going to matter, and eventually all these assets are going to be on CME. So their CME close is going to be probably as significant as the weekly candle close, but I don't trust the volume on the exchanges. I do trust CME. CME, I know someone's spending that money to do whatever they're doing, and it costs money to manipulate the market like this. Okay, there's money being spent to do all these moves, even if it's just trickery. Whoever's doing it, they're doing it very professionally, and it's on a regular basis the same stuff. Like this trap that occurred, I've fallen for it multiple times. So I've established rules to be like, hey, once a level breaks, dude, I'm not a genius. I'm not a fortune teller. I just know that, hey, someone is spending premium. You know, they're spending money above what it's worth to make something happen. So maybe they're manufacturing liquidity by doing a short squeeze. Maybe they're manufacturing liquidity by, like forcing the capitulation to the downside. Whatever it is, that's not our job. I'm only going off of price, and price already told me, yo, above 193, you have all these EMAs curving, and look at what happens when these EMAs cross, right? Like, look, this is the EMA cross, you have impulse, right? EMA is crossing, and now, of course, you're going to get this impulse probably into this level. And then you know that the liquidity, regardless of these consolidations, you know the liquidity was under here, and it's above here, right? Because the people who shorted over here, this is the lower high. Are you going to make a lower high to do the downtrend continuation in this expanding wedge? Or is this going to be a break of structure with you taking out this high? Okay, and when you take out this high, are you going to make a higher low? Meaning this level should not get retested. You should make a higher low near around 200. And here, I'm going to draw it out right here. You should be making a higher low here, not letting the trapped uh, shorts out, and you should be expanding it into that level over there. So even if New York Open, you find this like consolidating down, 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 like this, if you don't actually breach this level, it will more than likely be a rounding uh, bottom to trap the shorts, because the real level is above here. So whoever's doing whatever they're doing, their whole job is to make the price come above one tick above this level to take this liquidity, which is around 225. And why is that level so important? If you go to the fib above, above 215, right? The next level of resistance is 225. So that's how I can give you guys these like levels and numbers like pretty precise. It's because there's confluence with the EMAs and the fibs and stuff. So this is how I'm looking at LTC. Let's see how it plays out. I have my theory on Solana. I'm watching that play out today. And yeah, aside from that, guys, if you have any questions or concerns, hit me up in the comment section below. Um, if you would leave a comment, press the like button. I would greatly appreciate it. If there's an asset you want me to cover that I haven't already, please leave it in the comment section below and I'll get back to you in the next video. Aside from that, guys, please leave a like, subscribe, press the thumb button for notifications and the bell button for notifications. And yeah, if you're interested in trading with me live, feel free to join me on the Discord server. Link to the server is in the description of this video below, alongside all other affiliate services that we use and recommend that helps this channel grow. Thank you guys so much and have a great day. Talk to you soon.